You want to tell your son, or your children, if you could speak to them, about life, what would you want them to know? One thing I could tell, if I could talk to my kids and tell them something, I would encourage my children to not worry about sex. Like, I wouldn't encourage my children to have sex. I wouldn't even encourage my children to get married. And I would encourage them, if they want to start a family, if they want to have children, I would encourage them to adopt. You're the only custody parent, and if you choose to add in another stepmother or stepfather or another girlfriend or boyfriend, you'll be able to do that without the stress of ever being on child support, without the stress of someone ever threatening to take your child away from you, without the stress of ever missing your child because you got to split parenting time. And so that's what I would encourage my kids and say to my kids. I'm like, don't worry about fucking. Fucking is a drug you don't want to get hooked on. Fucking is a drug you don't want to get hooked on. I've been hooked on fucking, and it's been a major disruptor of destruction in my life. So I would advise my kids to diversions, real shit. I'll advise my kids, not just my daughters, my sons. I'll advise all my kids to diversion. I'll advise my kids, if they want a family, to adopt children. I advise my kids to focus on human currency, focus on human wealth. That's the most important wealth you can have, is human energy, human currency, friends, family, loved ones, associates. That's the biggest currency you can have, and focus on building that. And that'll be the riches that'll make your life feel fulfilled. You won't feel empty, And so, that's what I would tell my kids and any other nigga that want to listen.